Graduating from college is so exciting, but if you were a student athlete, you might be thinking, I didn't have time for an internship. I didn't have time to get a real job, so now what do I do? My name is Sarah Camillo. I'm a certified career coach and resume writer, and I got you. In this video, I'm going to break down how you can use your experience as a student athlete to stand out in the job market, why internships even after graduation are still a game changer, and how to showcase your leadership and transferable skills from being a student athlete in your upcoming interviews. I really enjoy working with recent college grads to help them find their first real job. Yet today in this video, I'm focusing just on student athletes because I was one myself, so I have a special place in my heart. I played volleyball in college, and it was such a different life than other people who didn't. I'm not taking anything away from if you were or were not a student athlete, but I'm just saying it was a different life at that time, and I'm going to be able to help you. Okay, let's dive in. Here's why employers love hiring student athletes and what to highlight in upcoming interviews. So first of all, being a student athlete is a huge advantage for you. So employers love hiring student athletes because you've already developed skills that other people at your age don't yet have. Here are some examples. Leadership. Maybe you were the team captain and people went to you for question and advice and motivation and help. And simply being just an upperclassman on the team, the underclassmen came to you for guidance. So that right there gives you some leadership experience. The next example is life lessons. So sports teach you how to work with a variety of coaches, kind of like your future bosses, right? They also help you work with different teammates, which will be like your future coworkers as well. And then overall, sports teach you how to win the right way, how to lose the right way, sportsmanship, how to keep composure, how to be professional along the way, how to be persistent and resilient, how to work hard and develop your own skills as well. Sports also teach you about time management, especially being in college. Balancing your practices, classes, missing classes due to traveling for the team, and overall school work. I remember when I was in college, I had those professors who hated that I was a student athlete because I missed classes. I missed too many. If I had a test that I was going to miss that day, they would make it very difficult for me to have to make up. They made it difficult. Now on the flip side, I had other professors who loved it and really appreciated me being a student athlete who was representing the school. But needless to say, it made it tough. You had to really know how to manage your time and day to day. Work ethic and discipline. Maybe, you've put in the hours to train, to develop your own skills, working out and all of that. You missed out on parties on the weekend because maybe you're traveling for your sport and other social events as a way to meet new people and really gain new college experiences because you were playing. So that was a lot of discipline. And lastly, communication. Maybe you gained experience interviewing. Maybe you were part of a press conference. Just working with the media in general. Maybe you had to provide a quote for the school paper or the school website, whatever you have. And also playing with challenging people on the team. You had to learn how to have tough conversations with them because you spent a lot of time with people on your team. So there are so many more lessons I can go into, but here's a few that you can speak to in upcoming interviews. Next, let's talk about the power of internships during college and even after graduation. I love how more and more colleges today are requiring an internship to graduate. I think that's so valuable. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you were a student athlete, you didn't have time to have an internship. You were busy playing your sport. You didn't have time. And that's okay because internships are still offered after graduation as well. Do your research. Look on handshake.com. Look on LinkedIn.com, look on your own career site as well. There are so many opportunities for you to still get that internship and that real hands-on experience. Whether it's a 3-month or a 6-month or maybe even a year internship, they're available for you. So just do your research. Going back to LinkedIn and Handshake, these are both two platforms that you can build a profile on so that you can research for opportunities, but also companies can come to you. So definitely check those out. My nephew's a freshman in college. I helped him build his profile before he even left for college. So start that as soon as you can. You want to search for entry level or internship opportunities. Sometimes they're even called junior level. Whatever that is, it's new. It shows that you're a recent college grad, and those are the level positions that you should be going for. Also, now's the time to really look at the people in your life. So whether it's relatives, find out where they work and who they know, other coaches you've had from college and from high school, professors, the nice ones that actually liked that you were a student athlete, your alumni groups from your school, and your parents' friends. Ask them what their friends do. Let them know, okay, this is my major, this is what I want to do. Do you know anybody who does this? If they have any friends in that field, ask for the number, see if you can set up and meet them for coffee, meet them for breakfast, or just schedule a phone call with them. Get to know what they do and if they can help you. Ask for any advice that they can give you to break into their field. And don't forget, internships don't have to be in person. There are still remote internships available as well. So again, do your research. Okay, next let's talk about your resume and finding those transferable skills from your coursework. So when it comes to your resume, be sure that your education is at the top of your resume to show I just graduated. You want to show the degree that you have, the major that you had, and the date that you graduated or your anticipated graduation date. Include that at the top. That way it's front and center and employers aren't expecting you to have much work experience at all. Then as far as the coursework, if you don't have any like formal work experience, go ahead and include the skills and the courses that are relevant to the job that you're looking to obtain. Okay, here are some examples. Say you're like a business or marketing or social media major. So you've learned about branding, social media marketing and campaigns, data analysis and business intelligence, competitive analysis, things like that. So mention all of that. If you're a STEM major, you learned about problem solving, research, analytical thinking, AI, data analytics as well. AI expertise is huge right now, as we all know, and companies want the latest and greatest knowledge, so include any coursework in that. Say your major was in psychology or communications or humanities, you've learned how to analyze behavior and people behavior, communicate effectively, communicate with a diverse group of people. All of those things can definitely apply and should be included on your resume. And maybe your major is in sports management or sport administration. Obviously, you have hands-on experience by being a student athlete, so highlight that, but then also include how you've gotten to learn different aspects of managing a sport and administering a sport as well. Check out the description below. I've linked a resume template that you can follow to get you started. Now, as far as some transferable skills, did you work on group projects? That's teamwork and leadership. Did you give any presentations? That's communication. It's all about framing it in the right way for your upcoming interviews. These are those transferable skills that you can be sharing. And also, if you're a part of any clubs or associations, I know I was part of the Student Athlete Advisory Board at my college, and a lot of universities still have that or something relevant to that. So make sure that you include that on your resume as well in the role that you played in that. Okay, now let's talk about interviewing and using your athlete mindset for an interview. Interviews can be intimidating, but you've played sports, you've been in intimidating and high pressure situations. So we want to use that to your advantage. In interviews, you're going to be asked what's called behavioral based interviews, or questions that want you to share a situation or share a story. You want to be using a storytelling technique. These questions typically start with, tell me about a time this happened, or describe a time this happened. So these storytelling techniques can help you remember your stories so that when nerves get in the way in an interview, you don't freeze. You already have your stories prepared and then you tell them in a consistent manner as well. Let me dig a little deeper on this. So what I mean by storytelling techniques, one very popular one is called the STAR method. It's been around for a long time. S stands for situation, setting the scene, task, what was the challenge, action, what did you do in the situation, and the result, what was the outcome. The R is very important. Another technique can be the PAR method, which stands for problem, action, result. So as you can see, they're all ways of telling a story. You want to share 1 or 2 sentences per letter. So you want to get to the point, tell it clearly, tell it consistently. There's a lot of research online on both of these methods, as well as some other ones like the 4 C's, and there's so many other techniques. So do a little bit of research, see what you feel most comfortable with so that it's not forced. The point is you want to develop stories in advance of your interviews so that you come prepared with like 4 or 5 stories you know you want to share, and you've already prepared them in your mind. Because when you give one of these stories, you're going to have a story that answers more than one question. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say the interviewer asks you, tell me about a time you handled a challenge and what did you do about it? So let me read a little story. Your story could be, as a college athlete, I tore my ACL my junior year. I had to undergo rehab while balancing coursework and team commitments. I created a strict schedule, leaned on my teammates for support, and still maintained a 3.5 GPA. Through that experience, I learned resilience, time management, and how to stay motivated under pressure. So that was your story, right? So come prepared with different stories about handling challenges, working with different types of people, different things like that that you know you're going to share, because you know what? That story could have answered other questions as well, like tell me about a time you overcame adversity. Tell me about a time you had to bounce back from an unfortunate situation. So there, like these stories are going to be able to answer multiple questions so that you're really prepared. Now in an interview, you're going to get more than 4 questions probably, right? But at least you know you're going to ace those 4 questions. And then that way you can confidently handle any other questions that come your way. All right, and that's how you stand out. Okay, so here's my final advice and action steps for you. You're gonna start looking for an internship, even if you've already graduated. You're going to set up profiles on handshake.com and linkedin.com, at least one of them. You're going to refer to the resume template link below and start developing your resume. If you need help, reach out. You're going to identify leadership skills and transferable skills from the sports that you played and from your coursework. And you're going to prepare 4 to 5 answers for upcoming interviews using different storytelling techniques. The most important thing when it comes to an interview is stay confident. Even though you don't have hands-on experience yet, you have such valuable experience being a student athlete that is absolutely transferable into a workplace. Again, as a student athlete, you've already shown that you can handle discipline, pressure, teamwork. Now it's just about telling your story in the right way. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with any other questions that you have or any other topics that you'd like me to hit on in the future. I'll see you in the next one.